Welcome back to another episode of Charge Collective, the number one ranked podcast in the world, according to both my mum and my nan. This is a podcast that's here to help you become the best version of yourself through teaching health, wealth, and happiness. Today we've got our topic, and our topic is Start Now. Now, this is a pretty good one, I think, because the hardest thing is always starting, but the sooner you get started, the sooner you get to where you want to be. And I know so many people that have such great ideas that never actually get started. And then I also know people that don't have the best ideas, but are always willing to just like tiptoe in and start these things. And you really look at the difference between that. Like, it doesn't always need to be a great idea to become something big. But the number one thing that you always have to do is get started. So no matter how good your idea is, if you don't get started, you're never going to achieve what you want to do. And that becomes like in all assets of life, whether you want to start doing some more fitness, start a new business, start saving money, like there really is like start living a happier life. Like you've just got to pick to start something, and that is how that begins. So the first thing I wanted to get started on, I wanted to like break this down into 3 topics. So our 3 topics are why you're scared to start, why you need to start now, and then how to start now. And I'm just trying to give you a bit of a blueprint on what the best way to get started on that little thing that you want to get that is in the front of your mind to get going on that. So the first one is why you're scared to start. And these are just like a couple of little fears that I feel like we've all got different reasons about why we might be scared to start something, but these are some ideas that I feel are pretty common for most people, why they're scared to take that first step. So the first one we've got is they're scared of other people's opinions. I know this is a massive thing in society now. And I know when I've started a lot of my stuff, I'm always so worried about what other people think of me. And it really does stop a lot of people from going and trying new things. We're all scared of other people's opinions and what they think about us. So that's the number one. Like, we're all fearful of other people's opinions. The next one is we're all scared of failure. To be real, like, we are really so scared of failure that we don't even start a lot of stuff. I know for me, like, I'm not even a perfectionist, but I always like to be like, all right, if I'm going to start something, I want to make sure it's not going to fail, because I don't like feeling like a failure. Whereas like I could imagine someone who's a perfectionist where they sit trying to plan something for 6 months and they don't even get to the start of actually launching something. They just so have entitled, like so fixed on having that perfect thing before they even get started, where the best time to do is just like jump out and not be scared of that failure. The next thing is also like not knowing how to get to the finish. And I think this happens for a lot of people is we always have these big ideas, but we don't know, we might have the idea of like, all right, this is how it looks at the finish. But then we're so scared of like, what's actually in the middle of that? Like, and we're not scared of it, but it's also like, we're so unsure of what is in the middle. So we don't even bother about starting because we're like, oh, look, we're at the start here and this is where we want it to end up, but we don't know how to do all the middle bit. So we won't even start anyway. Whereas I think you've just got to start and you just got to like go into that and just like do little bit by little bit, day by day. So that's one. Holding ourselves back from poor belief. I know we've all got such a poor belief that it shouldn't be us, like we shouldn't be able to do this. And I think we're all a lot more capable than what we actually give ourselves credit for. So don't be going out there saying, oh, it's not for me. Like, just say, why not me, is one of the biggest things. When you got that fear of like holding yourself back, don't hold yourself back. Have that thought of like, why not me? And then another reason that we all like to say as well is like, we're too busy. And look, I know some people's situations are very busy in life, but I just heard I was just at the Sunny Coast Marathon on the weekend, and I think his name's Lee Adams, and he has represented Australia 3 times in the Olympics for the marathon. And he was talking about his lifestyle schedule, and he's still a tradie, so he still works as a sparky, and he trains either in the morning or of a night time when he gets home at an Olympic level. And when you hear about his time schedule, like he was getting home at 6 o'clock, I think he's got 1 or 2 kids, putting the kids to bed, and then going out and doing a training session, not getting home till like 9 or 10 o'clock. And just like when you heard his story, like, oh my God, like this guy's got no excuses for why he's not doing, like why he can't do it. So I just think sometimes we look at like being too busy as a proper excuse, but it really isn't. Like I feel like if something's important enough to you, like you will make time for that as well. So there's some common fears that I feel like we all have. So if some of those fears resonate with you, like don't be scared about that. We all have them, but you've got to be able to overcome those fears and try and put them towards the side. And then these are some reasons why you need to get started now. Time passes so fast, and before you know it, your window's gone. I think we all like to think of like, oh yeah, like I'll start this idea and I'll start it in 6 months or a year or 2 years. But really the best time to do it is now, because when you start thinking about something, like it's at front of mind, but if you put it off, like in your, say you're really focused at work or you're focused in another fitness goal or whatever it is that you want to do, but when you put something aside, like you really lose track of time so quick. And for what was an idea once, you might be 5 years down the track and you're like, oh, that was that idea I had 5 years ago and I never pursued it. And yeah, like I just never done that. So that's another reason why you need to start now, because time goes so fast and you let it slip out of your imagination. The next one is you find out what if. I feel like the biggest thing is if you don't start something, you're going to have that what if for the rest of your life. And like there's a story about someone talking about they went and interviewed a lot of people on their deathbed, and a lot of people just had regret for not trying a lot of things in their life. So it wasn't the regret of doing stuff, it was the regret of not doing stuff that a lot of people had on their deathbed. And that really sings out to me, and it's like, could you imagine having all those what ifs that you built up around your life that you thought were good ideas at the time, but you never had the balls to go and do? So that's a big one. Like you need to start now so you can find out. You're not scared of that what if later on in life. And then you need to start now, because the sooner you start, the better you get. I think all of us are so scared to start because we're all like, oh, I don't know if I can do this yet, or I'm not going to be the best coach yet, or I'm not going to be the best at doing a half marathon yet, or a 5K or a 10K. And we all get that excuse of like, oh, if I'm not going to be good at it, I don't want to do it. And I think we all really have got to look at how much time does it take to actually become good at it. And the people that are good at it, they all had to start off somewhere as well. And they all started off bad and had to work up through it. The best example for that for me at the moment is jiu-jitsu. Like you look at that and I get in there and I feel like I'm a tough guy and I'm going to be able to like fight someone, and I've played footy my whole life. But you get humbled so quick. But then you look at the black belts, and to become a black belt, you've got to do jiu-jitsu for between like 8 to 10 years to become a black belt. And you're like, oh, well, when he first started, he probably sucked as well. So you've really just got to be like, the sooner you start, the better you're going to get, and don't let being bad at something be a reason that you don't do it. So that's another reason why you need to start now. And well, I've got here as well, you don't want to look back with regrets, but I feel like I've tied that on with you don't want to lose your what if. So that's why you need to start now. And then how to start now. This is the number one thing where I feel like this is going to validate your idea and really help you become solid and driven towards that goal. So my number one thing is tell someone what you want to do, because when you start telling people, it brings it to life more. I feel like if you just got this idea in your head and you might write it down in your journal and you might write it down in your diary, it's always there. But until you start telling people, and then the best thing is to always tell people that will hold you accountable as well. As much as this might make you uncomfortable, going and telling people that are going to hold you accountable really, really makes it a solid belief. So if you tell one of your friends and you're like, actually hold me accountable to this, like message me about it every week or every second week so I stay on that path, that is the number one thing that's going to get you started on your journey. And then I like to set attainable daily goals to get the ball moving. And this can be in many different ways. So if you want to learn something, like set attainable learning goals, or if you want to reach out to people, set attainable reach out goals where you might reach out to 3 or 5 people a day. If you want to train, like set attainable training goals. Can you train half an hour a day? Like what are your attainable daily goals that the more you do it, you start giving yourself that belief of that is where your journey is going. And then the next one is plan. Really try and give yourself defined time blocks where you can fit this in. Like if it's a Tuesday night for you and you want to be doing your training, like make sure that block doesn't move and that's your fixed block. And plan out your week to have this new idea that you want to start. have that as priority number one, because looking after yourself and chasing your own dreams is really what makes someone powerful. So if you pick out like your time schedule, and then you go, okay, I really want to train on a Tuesday morning, a Thursday afternoon, and a Saturday morning. They're my blocks. No matter what else happens in the week, they're your blocks that you train. So even if you wanted to start like a new business, and it's like, all right, the first 2 hours of every morning, this is my block to start my new business. So make sure that you have those fixed out time blocks. And then with anything, and it's the same in life for no matter what it is consistency. Don't be put down if it doesn't happen for you in 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, even a year. Like, you've really just got to stay consistent on that path. And then the more that you show up day in, day out, the more opportunities you then become successful in that path. Like, nothing's built overnight, and you just got to keep going and going and consistently going. Even when it feels like you're not actually getting the wins, surely enough, like, they will be building up in the background. And then all of a sudden it just hits you like a massive win. So hopefully those 3 little things give you a lot, guys. So we've got our why you're scared to start, like really try and hone in on why you're scared to start, and then why you need to start now. Pick out a few of those whys. You need to like tie yourself to a why, and then how to get started. Like, that is the number one thing. You just need to get started. I really hope that's helpful for you guys, and it really just like brings a bit of life to like your new goals that you want to set out there, and brings a bit of creativity, and start putting it out there, because before you know it, you might not have that chance again. So yeah, if that's helpful, guys, if you wouldn't mind liking or sharing the show, that'd be a great help as well. But enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll catch you on the next one. See yous.